All right, welcome to Align. Tonight, we will use 2 blocks and a strap, and we're going to start kneeling on a block. So go ahead and find a comfortable position to kneel in. And place 1 or 2 blocks underneath the knees. So the block is on the mat, and we're going to sit back on the edge of the block. Rest your hands in your lap and gently close your eyes. Just spend a few minutes here with our breath. Just feel all those different little parts of your body that move with each inhale and exhale. The belly, the chest, maybe the side ribs. All moving in a fluid motion. Thinking of the breath as a rolling wave, a gentle inhale, and a gentle exhale. Relaxing the tongue down and away from the roof of your mouth. Relaxing your throat and your soft palate. And on your next inhale, we're going to start to lengthen the breath to a slow 4 or 5 count in your head. It's a nice, long, steady inhale. As you inhale, explore if you can bring the breath down into the belly, really allowing the belly to come out and down, expanding like a balloon as you inhale, and gently pulling the belly in to help empty the lungs. Focusing on releasing and relaxing any tension that you're holding in the belly and abdomen to allow the belly to receive your breath. We may start to, at the beginning, force the breath down, but as we release and relax, we're allowing to receive the breath. And on your next exhale, we're going to slowly start to lengthen so that the inhale and exhale are the same length. Being mindful we don't cause any anxiety. So if needed, we can shorten the inhale slightly to meet the exhale. After your next inhale, we add a slight pause. Exhale and pause. As your tongue, your throat, and your soft palate relaxes, as the breath lengthens, you may begin to hear your breath in the inner ear. sounds of the ocean. Ujjayi breath, victorious breath, victory over the pose, over the breath, and over the mind. Search for this breath as we settle into each pose. As the mind wanders, as the mind will do, bring your awareness back to this breath. Taking this next moment without judgment or criticism, just observe how your body feels. Being aware of any of those spots that are holding tension. If you choose to do so, set an intention for your practice. And slowly open the eyes. We're going to extend the arms out to our sides, palms up toward the ceiling. And reach out through those fingertips as if you're trying to touch the wall on the opposite sides. Maybe gently look up toward the ceiling. Breathe. You can bring the gaze back down. We're going to cross right over left, bending at the elbows. Left hand comes around, maybe grabs that right thumb. If not, you just bring the fingertips together, interlock fingers, lifting the elbows the same height as your shoulders. And now as you inhale, bring your awareness to your upper back, and can you feel the back expand with each inhale? Breathe. Releasing arms back out to your sides. And we cross left over right, bending at the elbows. Right hand comes around, grabs that left thumb. And then lifting the elbows the same height as your shoulders. And breathe. Relaxing your tongue, your throat, your soft palate. And release, extending arms out to your sides. You can lift the arms up overhead, reaching up toward the ceiling. You're going to drop your left hand down toward your mat, leaning over to the left, reaching and extending out through the fingertips. And breathe. Inhale back to center, lifting the left arm. And exhale, drop the right to the mat, leaning to the right. Breathe. And back to center, lifting the right arm. You can release the arms down to your lap. And we're going to come to all fours. You can set your block to the side. I have some company here tonight. Hands are on your mat. Fingers are spread wide. Knees under the hips. Inhale, dropping the belly down toward the mat. Arch and look up to the ceiling. Exhale, tuck the tailbone. lifting your back and the head hangs. Inhale, untucking the tailbone, belly drops, arch and look up. Exhale, tucking the tailbone under, lifting your back toward the ceiling and allowing your head to hang last. And doing one more at the pace of your own breath. Attempting to move one vertebrae at a time, starting with the tailbone, the head the last to move. And just slowly come to a neutral spine. Here on your next inhale, you're going to lift the right arm up toward the ceiling. Exhale, reaching behind the left arm to the left. Inhale up. Exhale through and reach. One more inhale up. Exhale through and reach, dropping your shoulder to the mat. Maybe resting your head. And breathe. Relaxing your tongue. Soft palate. Another breath. And we slowly come back to all fours. Next inhale, left arm out to the side, up toward the ceiling. Exhale, reaching behind the right arm to the right. Inhale up. Exhale through and reach. And inhale up. Exhale through, reach. Left shoulder drops to your mat. And breathe. Another breath. And slowly come back to all fours. Hands are pressing firmly into your mat. Tuck the toes under. And on an inhale, we're going to lift the hips up and back to the back corner of the room, pressing those hands away from you. Keep both of the knees bent so we can really lengthen through the ribs. Gaze is toward your knees. We're going to keep the left leg bent and take the right heel toward the mat. Breathe. Bending the right leg, taking the left heel toward the mat. As we're doing this, just observe if there's any difference from side to side. How close does the heel come to the mat? And if it does find the floor, how much tightness do you feel in the back of the legs? And where is that tightness? So we're just going to go back and forth at your own pace. Then bring both of the knees bent together here. And then attempt to straighten both of the legs, taking those heels toward your mat. Observing how close they are to your mat, how the back of the legs feel. Inhale, we walk the feet forward between the hands, and we're just going to come to standing. We're going to take a block. You're going to find a spot on the wall. I'll do it sideways so you can see. Imagine my back is against the wall. Block is about a foot away from the wall, and we're going to take our toes onto the edge of the block, heels on your mat. Resting your back against the wall. You can control the intensity here by how close the block is to the wall. Closer to the wall will become more intense. Arms to your sides, gently close your eyes. Relaxing the tongue, throat, soft palate. And breathe. Long, steady breath. Another breath. You can step off your block, set your block to the side, and we'll come back to the front of our mat. Feet and knees together. Gently lift your toes, shifting your weight heavier in your heels, relaxing the toes down. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead, reaching up and extending out through the fingertips. Gentle back bend as you look up to the ceiling. And on an exhale, we swan dive, forward fold. Hands grab opposite elbows. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. And hang like a rag doll. And breathe. You can release the elbows. Hands come to your mat. Step back to a plank, halakasana. Keep the elbows tight to your sides. Lower all the way down with control. Point your toes. Next inhale, we press into the mat, lifting the chest. Bring those shoulders down and away from your ears. Breath into the belly. Really feel that belly. Try to expand as you inhale. Tuck your toes under. Inhale, lift the hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Bend both of the legs. Leave the left leg bent as the right heel goes toward the mat, observing how the back of the leg feels. Recalling how it felt before we came to standing. Bending the right leg, taking the left heel toward the mat. Here again, just being aware of any subtle differences. Left leg bends, and then together we take both of the heels toward the mat and breathe. Inhale, we walk the feet forward between the hands. Halfway lift, hands rest on the shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we rise all the way up, arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, hands down to heart center. You can release the hands. We're going to turn sideways on your mat and grab both of your blocks. And we're going to take the blocks and placing them on their high height, right on the corners, front corners of your mat on the long side. And we're going to come into a wide leg stance. So if you lift your arms, your ankles are going to be about underneath your wrists. And you can relax the arms back down. Lifting the toes on the right foot, point them to the side. Inhale, lift the arms and bend the right leg. Palms to the ceiling, chest opens. And turning only your hands, palms back down to the floor as you gaze over the middle finger of the right hand. Taking a peek down at your right knee, making sure you can see edges of your toes just over the right knee. If you cannot, then just inch that right foot a little further forward. And we're center line. So imagine that the spine is going straight up. We're not reaching forward in any way. Spine is erect. Virabhadrasana 2. And breathe. And as you settle into a pose or making those little micro adjustments so that this pose becomes more comfortable for you, what are those spots that are causing you to want to leave this pose? Shoulders, the right leg. Release the arms down, straighten the right leg, with the toes, point them forward. Do the same on the other side, lifting the left toes, pointing them to the side. Inhale, lift the arms and bend the left leg. Palms to the ceiling so the chest opens. Turning only your hands, palms back down to the floor as you gaze over the middle finger of the left hand. Peeking down at your left knee, make sure knee is over the ankle and you can just see the edges of your toes. Relaxing your tongue, your throat, soft palate. Warrior 2. Another breath. Releasing the arms down, lift, straightening the left leg, toes lift and point forward. We're going to lift the toes on the right foot, point them back to the side. Inhale, lift the arms and bend the right leg. Couple options here. We can either rest the right forearm on the right leg and bring that left arm overhead. You have a block here. You can rest the right fingertips on the block. You have options on height. So feel free to challenge yourself here. Maybe the fingertips even come down, resting on the mat. You're holding yourself up with your body. We're not pressing down. If you're using a block, I'm not leaning on the block. So when my fingertips are touching, my arm is not holding any weight. Parsvakonasana, side angle. And breathe. Next inhale, we windmill the arms back up to a T, releasing the arms, straightening the right leg, toes lift and point forward. And doing the same on the other side, lifting the toes to the left. Inhale, lift the arms, bending the left leg. Same options here. We can rest the left forearm on the left leg, bringing the right arm overhead. Or challenging yourself, you have a block right here, fingertips on the block, whatever height works for you, but we're not sacrificing the pose just to get our fingers to the floor. And breathe. Relaxing your tongue and your throat. Next inhale, we windmill back to warrior two. Relaxing the arms, straightening the left leg, lifting the toes and pointing them forward. We'll give the legs a little break here. Go ahead and bring your legs back together. We're gonna go in a balance pose. So pick a spot to focus on, a bindu, little spot on the floor, on the wall in front of you. Grounding your right leg, left ankle, left heel comes to the right ankle like a little kickstand. And on your inhale, when you're ready, we're gonna slowly start to lift the left leg. How high you lift the leg is up to you. You're challenging your balance here. So you don't want it to be too easy, but we're very cautious. We're not pressing on the side of the knee. Arms wherever they're comfortable for you, can be out to your sides, or maybe your tree starts to grow. Remember to breathe. Relax your tongue and your throat. Another breath. And slowly landing the left leg with control. You can shake out the legs and we'll go to the other side. Grounding your left foot. Pick a spot to focus. Right heel to the left ankle. And as you are ready, slowly begin to lift the right leg. Here again, mindful we're not pressing on the side of the knee. Arms wherever they're comfortable. Maybe the tree grows. And allow your tree to sway. All trees sway. They move in the wind. So we're not rigid here. We're moving with each little challenging balance moment. And breathe. Relaxing your tongue. Another breath. And we land the right leg with control. Shake out the legs. Just make sure you have your blocks at the corners of your mat. So you're going to use them here for this next pose as well. We're going to go back into that wide stance. You're going to lift the toes on the right foot, point them to the side. This time we're going to keep both of the legs straight. I'd like you to go ahead and grab your block by your right foot and place it just behind your right heel. So it's on the inside, just behind my right heel. As tall as it will stand, we can always go lower if we're there tonight. Inhale, lift the arms. You're going to reach as far forward as you can with the right fingertips. When you can go no further, allow your right hand to find your block. A gentle twist to the left as you lift the left arm up toward the ceiling. We're really working to keep the legs straight. If we cannot keep them straight here, we're just going to shorten the pose. Maybe scoot that left leg a little closer so that we can keep the legs straight. And then being aware of your body, maybe you can lower the block, but do not sacrifice that front leg. Keep it straight. And breathe. Inhale, we lift the chest, relax the arms, lift the toes on the right foot, point them forward. Left side, we lift the toes on the left foot, point them to the side. Go ahead and move your block right behind that left heel. Inhale, arms lift. Reach as far forward as you can. Left hand find your block. Gentle twist to the right. Right arm up toward the ceiling. And here again, being aware of your body, shortening the pose if needed, maybe lowering the block if you're there, or maybe the fingertips come to the mat. And breathe. Long, steady breath. Inhale, we lift the chest, relaxing the arms. Lift the toes on the left foot, point them forward. And we're going to grab one block and you're going to place it between your legs as tall as the block will stand. We're going to stay in this wide pose. Hands are going to come to the hips. Before we go into the pose though, as you exhale, I want you to press back gently on the hips, and it's going to feel like you're sticking your butt out behind you, but that's going to help keep the chest lifted and the spine neutral as we fold forward. I want your toes just slightly turned in, so a little pigeon-toed here, not too much, just a little slight. Hands come to the hips. Exhale, we're gently pressing back as we fold forward. And hands find your block. I'm asking you for a little body awareness here. If your legs and back are straight, you can lower the block or maybe bring the hands down to the floor. And breathe. Gently lift your toes, shifting your weight heavy into the heels. And then relax the toes back down. See if you can allow your head to hang. And breathe. And long, steady breath. You're going to place your left hand underneath your chest. You can even rest it on your block if you're using a block. On your next exhale, we're going to twist to the right, lifting that right arm up toward the ceiling. And breathe. Releasing the right hand down, right hand rests either on the floor or your block underneath the chest. Next exhale, we twist to the left, lifting that left arm up toward the ceiling. And breathe. long, steady breath. And we release the left hand down. You're going to use both of your hands and arms to help support your weight. We're going to heel toe the feet a comfortable distance apart. Slightly wider than the hips is usually easier, and toes can be pointed out towards the side. As you exhale, you're going to drop your hips down towards your heels. Hands rest either on the floor or the block if you need for balance, or it can come to heart center. And if you're not there tonight, that's okay, but the direction is we're trying to get the heels onto our mat. In fact, if we can't, we can even just roll up our mat slightly. You can even place that underneath the heels if the heels don't find your mat. Driving the heels into something solid like a rolled blanket or rolled mat will help open up the hips. And breathe. Another breath. Inhale, we come all the way up to standing. And we'll come back to the front of our mat. You can set your props to the side. In the front of our mat, feet and knees together. Creases the elbows face forward. Inhale, we lift the arms up overhead. Gentle back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands, step the feet back to plank. Slowly lower with control. Point the toes. Inhale, lifting the chest. Tuck the toes. Lift the hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Knees to the outside edges of your mat. Big toes come together and touch. Exhale, we drop the hips toward the heels, resting your forehead on your mat. Inching the fingertips just a little further away. And breathe. Bringing awareness to your back. Can you feel the back begin to expand slightly with each inhale? We're going to walk the hands off the left side of your mat, right hand on top of your left. And breathe. We walk the hands off the right side of your mat, left hand on top of right. And back to center. Slide your hands underneath your shoulders. Using your hands to slowly push yourself up to sitting. We're going to come over, finding your seat. And go ahead and lie down onto your back. Both of the legs straight. And then we're going to bend the right knee, bringing the right knee up into the chest, toward the armpit. Keeping the right leg active, we're pressing back into the hands as you're pulling the knee into the chest. And breathe. Maybe gently close the eyes, relaxing the tongue, the throat, soft palate. And breathe. You're going to grab the outside of the knee with your left hand, extending your right arm out to your side like a T. As you exhale, we take the knee across the body to the left. Being mindful to keep it right shoulder blade on your mat. Gaze falls where your neck is comfortable. And breathe. Long, steady breath. And we come back to center. Give the leg just a gentle hug. And then releasing the right leg back down to your mat. As we bend the left leg, interlocking the fingers above or behind the knee, as you pull that left knee into the chest. Pressing back into the hands with the leg. And breathe. Grab the outside of the knee with your right hand, left arm out to your side like a T. As you exhale, we take the leg across the body to the right, keeping the left shoulder blade on your mat. Gaze where your neck is comfortable. And breathe. And back to center. Gentle pull on the left leg as we release back down to your mat. We're going to bend both of the legs so the bottoms of the feet are resting on your mat. On an inhale, we're going to press into the mat. Heels are heavier, lifting the pelvis. Hands can be to your sides, or maybe You come underneath and interlock and breathe. Exhale, we're going to slowly lower with control. Then bring the knees, both of the knees into the chest, just for a quick little hug. Releasing the legs, feet back down onto your mat. Next inhale, we press into the mat, lifting the pelvis. Maybe try to lift a little higher. Breathe. Releasing down with control on an exhale. Knees into the chest, rock side to side. Releasing feet back down to your mat. And do this one more time. Next inhale, we press into the mat, lifting the pelvis. Maybe walk those shoulders a little closer together, lifting as high as you can. Breathe. Another breath. We're going to slowly lower with control. This time we're going to bring the knees up, but the arms are going to go between the legs, grabbing the bottoms of the feet for happy baby. Maybe the bottoms of the feet go toward the ceiling, rocking side to side, front to back. Maybe pulling those feet, the knees into the armpits. Maybe we take our peace fingers, grabbing the big toes, and attempt to straighten the legs. Another breath. You can release the legs and the feet down to the mat. You're going to straighten your legs out. Arms are to your sides, palms facing up. We're going to, as we go into Shavasana,